SMS 4215.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95. Pulse.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace and love, and welcome to Catch a Vibe with Big Hass. Big Hass taking over from Mikael, of course, in the evening buzz. And Catch a Vibe, this is our second show, you guys. It's a brand new radio show in the UAE, and it's all about, in that hour, you're only going to hear, obviously, local and regional artists. And that's the cool thing, really. So big up to Pulse 95 Radio for giving me that platform. It's really a big deal. So we're going to get straight into it, and that's how we're going to roll. And you will notice that one thing in common between all the artists that I'll be kind of playing tonight is mainly the diversity of it. So the diversity, there's not one Arab country that kind of sum up what the region is all about. So the diversity is a big thing. The hunger is really interesting. The mix between Arabic and English. So all that put together gives you the local and regional scene. And it's a huge honor to have a show specifically on UAE Radio that highlights that. We're going to start from Saudi Arabia. Yes, where I'm from. I'm from Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And this artist is incredible. He's taken the streaming world by storm, really. His name is Hajjaj, and he's a Saudi R&B artist. The record I'm about to play for him is called Let Me Get to Know You. I love this record, and I think it's one of the underrated records for him. In 2021, he's released an EP that has 6 songs. The EP is called Last Call for Coco. Now, what's interesting is I found out that majority of the records were actually written and recorded back in 2017 in London. Where Hajjaj used to, spend his holidays there and over the summer. What's interesting about him is his voice and his songwriting. I think it's very, very interesting. He's a student of the game, and he is, of course, signed to Bridge Entertainment out of Saudi Arabia, led by my brother Saud At-Turki, who's one of the most incredible producers that we have in the region. So again, when you hear this record, I definitely advise you to go hear the whole EP that's called Last Call for Coco. He was the face of many of incredible Spotify playlists, for example. And again, streaming-wise, he's doing incredible numbers, and big up. You're about to hear right now an artist from Saudi Arabia and be like, wow, he's from Saudi Arabia. I'll be like, yep, he is from Saudi Arabia. So this incredible artist named Hajjaj. So buckle up, you guys, at Pulse 95 Radio, at Big Hass, and at Hajjaj right now. Let me get to know you right here on 95 FM. This is Catch a Vibe with you guys until 10.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95. Pulse.
Man, oh man. Whew. We are back with you guys on the radio right here on Pulse 95 Radio. That was Hajjaj with Let Me Get to Know You. Beautiful record. Hajjaj is out of Saudi Arabia. And it's going to be a journey, you guys. That's the whole hour like that. So from Saudi Arabia, we're going to go to Sudan. Oh man, Sudan. Always incredible, always amazing. Sudan, I'm highlighting an artist called Ghaida. And Ghaida is a Sudanese, half Sudanese, half Dutch singer-songwriter, R&B, neo-soul, kind of jazzy, all kind of put together. I would say that her music is warm, if that makes sense. You're not going to hear that description a lot from many of the people that talk about music on the radio. But again, I think that when you hear the music, you'll feel a sense of warmth. She puts so much heart in her music. She's inspired by artists like Amy Winehouse, Erykah Badu, and Anderson .Paak. I really truly feel her music, and I think that her music is free and not strained. I feel that there's no one way you can kind of describe the music, which kind of makes it real. It was back in 2017 that she did a cover for a record for Kilani that caught the attention of the incredible producer called Full Crate, and then the two kind of got together and they did an amazing song called Storm on a Summer Day, which we play on Pulse 95 Radio. I love that record. This record right now has 18 million views on YouTube, streams on Spotify, I believe. Big deal. And I think what's incredible about her is that she found herself, and she found her voice. She was part of an incredible initiative by Colors, the platform Colors, which is amazing. And she did a song dedicated to Sudan called Morning Blue, that kind of shed the light on the social and political climate at Sudan at that time. So really amazing. I love it when artists stand for something they believe in and stand up and shout out their country. But a beautiful record that you'll see her kind of dabbling in both English and Arabic. Ghaida is one of those artists that, again, you will feel a sense of warmth when you listen to her incredible voice and amazing music. So catch a vibe, and I hope you are catching a vibe with me today, with you guys until 10, only playing local and regional artists in this hour.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
All right, on Pulse 95 Radio, Big Hass right here. Catch a Vibe, if you're just listening in right now, Catch a Vibe is a new radio show in the UAE that promotes and supports local and regional artists and highlights that sound. It's my second episode, so I want to shout out Pulse 95 Radio again for giving me this opportunity. It's a big deal. So first record we played is out of Saudi Arabia, then we moved to Sudan, and right now we're gonna come to the UAE via Nigeria. Now the UAE is home to 190 plus nationalities. It's incredible the amount of diversity, the diversity that is in this beautiful country that we call home. So I've been very vocal always about talking about what's the sound of the UAE gonna be like what is it. I've always been kind of intrigued on it. Again, as a music journalist, as a blogger, as somebody who's been covering music since 2007 till now, it's always been something I kind of enjoy talking about and highlighting. There's always a sound coming in from a place, right? So the UAE has been tricky, I'll be honest. It's been very tricky, but I think I've come to peace with saying that the sound of the UAE is diversity. There's not one. Actually, I'm playing a record later on tonight by a group called Noon, who I personally think that's the sound of the UAE. So that's my personal opinion. But right now, we're going to be playing Jones the Econ Boy. And man, oh man, this brother, very talented, and I would say very hungry. Obviously he moved to the UAE to continue his studies, and he's from Nigeria, singer, producer, crazy producer, was inspired by people like Shaggy, Nigerian music, Michael Jackson, R&B. He has this urban Afro sound vibe, and I don't know, you can't really knock the hustle with Jones the Econ Boy. He's somebody that is very, very hungry. That's the thing that kind of comes out. And I love the fact that he is very passionate about his sound. He knows what his sound is, and he wants to, push it. For the past 2-3 years, we all know that, Afro music and that vibe, whether it's, Burna Boy and many others, paved the way and pushed that music became the music that is played on the radio everywhere in the world and getting a lot of streams, millions of streams and views around the world. So for me personally, what I love about Jones the Econ Boy is that he's keeping it real. He is highlighting, his country, his continent, and doing it. Sometimes I go man, this is incredible how he was able to do it. So this record is called Grateful, and please go check him out. It was released just a lot of records, and whether on Spotify, Anghami, Apple Music, whatever it is, Jones the Econ Boy, amazing guy. The record is called Grateful, and featuring Austin and Boy Henry. But again, I love the fact that these guys are hungry and highlighting their sound. The second I play this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So without further ado, Jones the Econ Boy featuring Austin and of course Boy Henry with Grateful. Man, oh man. It's Pulse 95 Radio.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
All right, like I said, the UAE is home for many, many nationalities, 190 plus nationalities, I believe, and this is incredible. So we just heard from Jones the Econ Boy, who's Nigerian based here in the UAE, and we're going to remain in the UAE with a Lebanese songwriter. She's an amazing artist, an amazing human being as well, and I'm talking about. Can you guess what I'm talking about? I'm talking about Michelle, now She used to be called Michelle. Right now, she's called Layla May. Big up to this singer and songwriter. She's based here. R&B vibes. I love the fact that she's not afraid to showcase different aspects of her. More of the kind of sensual and emotional side. Again, her name was Michelle, and now she goes by the name of Layla May, which is respect for that. She can make you feel, I think, with what Layla May does, she can make me feel both emotional and curious, if that makes sense, at the same time. Her debut EP called Our Story featured 4 records. I think what makes Layla May unique is the fact that she's willing to experiment new sound, new vibe as she goes along. And if you think about that, that's the whole kind of idea about, music. It's nice to experiment. Many artists find it difficult for them to even experiment because they're afraid of, maybe judgment. It's also within them. They're not really ready. So for me, it's all that together. That's what makes the show special, you guys. Like, that's why I am very passionate about Catch a Vibe, because in the span of 1 hour every single week, I try my best to take you on a journey, like, of what is this whole Arab region covering, and you will see. It's amazing. We covered Saudi Arabia, and then we moved to the UAE, then we with Nigeria, Lebanon, and it's just all mixed kind of together, which is just, if you think about it, just amazing. Sudan. I am blessed to be doing a show like this right here, and I hope that you're having a good time. Please let me know. 4215. Text me. I can see those messages on my screen, and also at me at big_Haas and at Pulse 95 Radio. So, ladies and gentlemen, go check her out. Her name is Layla May. Record I'm playing right now for her is a bit old, but I love that record. She knows that I love the record, so it's called Fire. I hope you're listening in Layla May. Big respect to you, sis. Shout out to you. Shout out to Lebanon. Layla May on Pulse 95 Radio on Catch a Vibe. Take it away, sis. Record's called Fire. It's a fire record.
Catch a Vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse 95.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I'm to be honest with you guys, I'm a bit emotional and excited to do this. Again, I've been doing radio since 2007, and it's incredible to have these feelings about how you want to kind of push the community and push the scene and push an industry all together. So the fact that I am blessed and honored to have a radio show on your EFM on Pulse 95 Radio, the heart of Sharjah, Sharjah's first and only English radio station, to have that opportunity is a big deal. Really, it's a big deal. So, and the fact of the matter that now we spent half an hour together, and you haven't heard any of the Justin Biebers or the Weeknd, with all due respect to them, or any kind of music that is kind of not local or regional, is really a big deal. And so once a week we have the opportunity to do just that. We just heard from Michelle, and of course, she's a Lebanese singer-songwriter based here in the UAE, and she is incredible. Okay, from the UAE, we're gonna go to Sudan back again. I think Sudan, I can easily do like 5-6 episodes on Sudan, and I tell you what, I'm scratching the surface. That's how crazy Sudan is. Like, the amount of talent that's coming out of Sudan is just insane. And right now, I am going to be talking about an artist called My Man. His name is My Man, like the Denzel Washington voice. I'm sure he gets that a lot. My Man. My Man is from Sudan. He is an amazing performer, singer, producer. His name is Mahdi. And I think, trying to really sum up what he does and what's the kind of music that he does, definitely, like you would say, it's a blend of hip-hop and R&B, but never really forgetting where he comes from, if you understand what I mean. His record called Alright, featuring Too Dope, was amazing. Really, it opened a lot of doors for a lot of people. And I would say you would feel a certain Western vibe in his music, but you would go like, that's Sudan. You'll just get it. He has this incredible Sudanese element in his music, which is just massive. For me, this is incredible. For me, like I said, when we talk about the music in this region, I find it I'm trying to tiptoe right here. Not insulting, but I find it weird, or maybe even ignorant, right? To sum up the music for this region in like one country. They say, oh, this Arab, we are all about diversity, and we're all about, it's huge. It's really big, so you can't really sum us up in only one category. The way that the local and regional music is making a big turn right now, you'll understand that there's still love songs. Let me backtrack a little bit. If you're from the Arab region, you'll know that 99% of the music that gets released by pop artists from the Arab region is about a certain topic, which is love. And love is cool. Love is amazing. But it's only kind of certain element of love, which can get a bit cheesy and a little bit of like, khalas, it's old. Like that's the same energy and vibe that's been doing it for 20, 30, 40 years even, right? Now, these artists are coming in here. Some of them are like, talking about social, community, sometimes political issues, and some of them are talking about love, but in a different way. Just in a way that a 22-year-old is talking about now. That's the best thing I can kind of sum it up. I have a lot to say about that, but that's how I can sum it up. So to go back to my man, he is somebody who is very passionate about where he comes from. Sudan. He's very passionate about pushing his own voice. And again, you see the theme right here, not afraid to experiment and not afraid to push out. Now, Sudan as a community, like we have an amazing Sudanese community in the UAE. They're very supportive. When I say supportive, meaning I've hosted a group called The Circle, and they are an amazing, group from Sudan, and they do amazing hip hop. It was like the event was sold out like in less than 3 hours. Yes. Take in mind, like we had the COVID thing, it was like 200 people or so, but still, I'm happy. Very, very supportive in terms of like supporting one another and supporting Sudan and pushing Sudan. Big deal. So this is a crazy record, an amazing record, and it's called Zoli. With Zoli in the Sudanese kind of dialect means my man, which is just incredible. This is my man, Zoli, out of Sudan on Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a vibe with me. Let's go.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
Let's catch a vibe with me, Big Hass, with you guys for the next 30 minutes as well. It's a weekly show every Saturday from 9 to 10 p.m. And it's a new radio show in town. That's how I'm pushing it. And it's a new radio show, of course, on Pulse 95 Radio. Blessings and peace, blessed Ramadan to everybody that is, of course, tuning in. And like I said last week, we're that show that comes in just after your suhoor, your futur. Of course, you do your prayers, and of course, you wait for suhoor. This is where we come in. And definitely you can catch the show on YouTube as well, on Pulse 95 Radio. Very, very honored to do this. Okay, from Sudan, we're going to go back to the UAE. And again, as I said in the beginning of the show, the UAE is home to 190 plus nationalities, very diverse. Can't sum it up in one nationality. And what's incredible about this show, it's giving me a platform really to showcase. And really, I'm just scratching the surface, you guys. It's done one show and a half right now, and obviously it's just very, very honored. All right, my rappers, the lyricist out there, you gotta be careful when I talk about this guy. His name is Tak. Incredible guy, seriously, an amazing human being as well. Great heart, big heart. Tak is an artist based here in the UAE, and he is this artist with one of the most intense lyricists in the region, hands down. I'm just thinking about what I want to say. Very intense. He loves what he do. I can give you that. Very comfortable at it too, which is also a very interesting point in terms of like, how do artists feel about their own art? I think Tak is one of those guys that's very comfortable about what he does, very skillful rapper, right? Skillful rapper, like skills, my God. Dope singing voice. That is a lethal combination. In my opinion, he is challenging the whole traditional approach of hip-hop music generally. And when you hear his music, you understand what I mean. And when you start following him and getting to know him as a human, you'll understand even more. But most importantly, for me, as Hassan, I think what's unique about him is also his self-confidence. That's what makes him unique and lethal. Very, very self-confident, loves what he does, And I'll add, he likes to challenge himself. I feel that in his music, and I feel that with the artists that he's collaborating with. Young dude, but like hungry. And again, going back to confident, right? When you're confident, when you build a really good base for yourself, there's a thin line between cocky and just confident, right? And he is confident. He knows what he's doing. He loves what he's doing. Very, very honored to play Tax Records on the radio. It's a big deal to be able to highlight someone like that, someone like Tac, and all the artists that we highlighted last week and today's show. Again, you will not hear anything in this hour. This is not a segment that is about this segment right now is supporting this. No, it is a full hour once a week that we are highlighting in this hour. These are the artists that are from the Arab region, and they're all diverse. You can't it's different, and that's why you can't put me or these artists in a box. Man, I get so passionate talking about these guys because you know why? Because they're the pulse of the street, and the pulse of the street is not one thing; it's diverse, just massive. So, ladies and gentlemen, you're about to get into the Tac vibe right now. So catch a vibe with Tac, based here in the UAE. Records called The Mirror Theory, right here on Pulse 95 Radio. Listen.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass, only on Pulse 95.
All right, catch a vibe with me, Big Haas. Man, oh man, it's crazy how a great time really goes by like this. And shout out to everybody tuning in. Big up to Suad and Abdullah tuning in from the capital. Text me right now, 4215. Would love to hear from you. And also add me at Big_Haas on Instagram and at Pulse 95 Radio. All right, we just heard Tac. Incredible lyricist, based right here in the UAE, and we're highlighting a lot of music from the UAE this week and today's show, of course, because again, it's very diverse. And if you heard the first episode, you'll see also it was diverse, and it's going to continue. And believe me when I say that we are only just scratching the surface. All right, right now we're going to go to Palestine in the UAE, a Palestinian singer songwriter, also incredible human being. The reason why I always say incredible human being, or I talk about them, the artist person, because I know them. I hope I know them. When I say I know them, I've had the pleasure to work with them, to meet them, to talk to them, to talk life, to talk music. I've showed support. They've showed me love and support. So my interaction with these guys are not only, I'm not just a radio guy that they send me music and I just play it. No, I like to think of myself as somebody that, I try to support whenever I can. But also I know what they're going through, and I know the struggle, and I know how they are evolving. And this guy is definitely one of those incredible hearts that we have right here in the region, in the UAE. He released his first ever record, I believe, back in 2019, if I'm not mistaken, a record called Nights Like This. He's collaborated a lot with, of course, the amazing producer that we talk a lot about the show, Brian Bailouni, just massive at what he does. The record that we're about to play is called Separate Ways, and it's his new record. Now, let me just check right here. The last time this brother released the record was last year, 2021, I believe, and it was a record with the incredible Sways and Edges and Al Asas, an incredible record called We Will Never Die. Amazing record. And La Narhal. I don't know if he has an EP. No, he doesn't have an EP yet. So I think the past year, and again, knowing him, he has gone through something that we always talk about here on the show, and also on Yellow Home. I always talk about that, and also on my social media, this self-discovery thing, and it's about discovering your sound and discovering yourself. It's not easy. I keep saying it. It's not easy. We always see the end results as people who watch, social media or whatever it is. We see how artists are. You never see how it took this artist a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and just losing themselves to find themselves, and it's a whole circle. So I'm very proud of him really for releasing this record. I really truly love this record. I haven't really told him how I feel about it, so I'm hoping that he's tuning in. I really think this is top 2 records for me, for him, you know? And I love this record. It's called Separate Ways, and it tells the tale of how things that seem to be bad on the surface can turn out to be good things. Incredible, huh? In this case, the ending of a relationship, be it a romantic one, or one between friends, or even a family time. How those relationships ending can turn out to be positive steps in someone's life. How in order to grow and evolve, you actually need to let go of some people in your life. Wow. It's a song immersed in self-reflection and a sense of awakening. Yes, I felt this when I heard this record for the first time. But again, knowing KK, I really like his vibe on this one. A little bit more than the others. That's just me. I really like this record, of course, produced by Baidouni. Massive record. So, out of the UAE, via Palestine and Habiba, this is Separate Ways on Pulse 95 Radio by K.K. I mean, when you go look for him, it's K.K. KK, Separate Ways on Pulse 95 Radio. Let's go.
Catch a vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95. Pulse.
All right, we are back with Pulse 95 Radio. Catch a vibe. And man, just 1 hour really went by real quick. I want to play a couple of records for you guys. This one is from Syria and is definitely by one of the top 3 produced rappers, Arab rappers ever. His name is Bukulthum. Just massive. He's a rapper, he's a producer, someone who is just very talented and very passionate about what he does. Seriously incredible guy. The record is called Zamilu, and you will feel a certain vibe with him. What's amazing about him is he was based in Syria, then moved to Jordan, then of course with the whole war in Syria, wanted to find himself, so he went to Holland, and now he's based in Holland. And he released Borbar, which is an amazing Arabic rap album, one of the classics. Very, very hardcore, but he was always finding himself throughout. And as he goes through the whole process of being in a country that's not Arab, right? And it's a European country. Why? Because of the situation of his hometown. He's able to find himself and speak about, the things that someone like him would go through. An amazing artist, an incredible human being, Bukulthum, with a record called Zamilu. This record will give you chills. If you understand Arabic, it will give you chills. If you don't understand Arabic, it will still give you chills. Zamilu, shout out to my sisters out there. It's dedicated to women. Let's go.
Vibe with Big Hass. Only on Pulse. Pulse 95.
Man, oh man, we've reached the end of Catch a Vibe for this week. Peace and blessings to you guys all. Hopefully you're having a blessed Ramadan. Catch a Vibe every single week from 9 to 10 p.m. every single Saturday, right after the evening buzz with my brother Mikhail Atiyah. And man, oh man, what a journey today. Just massive. Just looking at the playlist I did today, and I like to kind of sum up what I did. And we started off from Sudan, and then we went with Ghaida. Then we went to Jones, the Ecom boy out of Nigeria, based here in the UAE. And then we went to Michelle from Lebanon, based in the UAE. And then we went to Sudan as well with my man Zoli. Incredible record. And then we went back to the UAE with an incredible artist called Tak. And then also from the UAE with a Palestinian artist called KK. And you see, I'm still scratching the surface. And then we just heard Bukulthum out of Syria. See? That's why I'm still passionate about what I'm doing. I'm telling you, that's why I will always remain passionate, because I have done so far 2 hours of this Catch a Vibe. And what's beautiful about this show is that you don't hear any other music. I'm just introducing the record, and for the 1 hour, you'll hear the sound of the region. Now, this record that I'm about to end with, in my opinion, this is my opinion, it's a record out of the UAE, and it's from a band called Noon. Now, Noon in Arabic is an alphabet letter, this, in my opinion, again, I think this is the sound of the UAE. This is how the sound of the UAE is like, because 190 plus nationalities all put together. This is kind of the vibe and the energy. When I spoke to the members of the band, Noon, it's crazy. You can't really sum them up. Between jazz fusion, hip-hop, mixed with, man, there's a lot of genres in what they do. So you can't can't really, experimental. Can't really sum it up. They are so passionate on stage, and what you're about to hear right now is an instrumental record. There's no singing in it. And I wanted to play that record at the end because it's like a 5-minute record, and if you're driving or just vibing, it will take you on a journey. It's a journey within the journey. They will be releasing an album called Odyssey in this year, which is going to be amazing. Nubian Dance is the record's called Nubian Dance, and really, when you dive into this record, you'll understand what I'm saying. So I'm gonna really shut up right now and introduce this record because it's amazing. You will hear it from the first second. You'll hear it right now. Amazing energy. Nubian Dance. The band is called Noon, Noon, and they're based right here in the UAE, you guys. Playing a 6-minute record on the radio, on Pulse 95 Radio. You will know what I mean when they start playing, which they did. It's Big Hass. I wish you guys a blessed evening. Alhamdulillah for everything. Nubian Dance. Noon. Catch a vibe. Peace and love. And we say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.